Welcome to the Public Opinion Court, where the truth ain't reality, but opinions are, in our collaboration with real life street stars as we break down and do the recap of the Freaky Rico trial that is on day 17. Listen, today, it's like every day this trial is testing the endurance of everyone. I thought that the YSL trial had its ups and downs, but baby, today was that day in the Freaky Rico trial. Now, as everyone enters in, make sure you are liking away, get that engagement up as we go through the explosive day that it was today. Now, when we spoke yesterday, when I went live yesterday, we was on BB. We was talking about Cassie's friend BB and how Westmoreland did her big one yesterday. And I'm not gonna spend any time on that testimony. I'm not gonna spend any time because it did what it did. It did what it needed to do, and it got everything it needed to get yesterday. But what I will point out to you on the significance of after the testimony or before the end of the testimony, the government introduced what I told you all about, the metadata, how the feds go in and do a metadata sweep. That came in today because Westmoreland was trying to confuse the witness, and I feel like it backfired on them because the government came in and introduced that the picture was taken on September 30th, and they confirmed it with KK. I already told y'all KK is going to jail if KK don't snitch, and KK being a white woman, she is definitely snitching on Diddy. KK had her hands in this again. So y'all remember them Balenciaga boots from that raid that I went over that happened at the Miami home? One of the phones in there belonged to Cassie. Why do you still have that phone, sir? In that phone, there were text messages between KK and Cassie that confirmed what happened to BB. Cassie texts KK, "I can't believe he done dangled her over that balcony." So what the defense tried to do today, I feel like fell flat. So do not allow these influencers and these bloggers to confuse you about the evidence and testimony and the significance of it, because guess what they're trying to do? Get likes, views, and all of the things. Well, I'm here to tell you the government came back and countered, and it fell flat. So let's see. Diddy was totally out of control. Yes. No, King Wakanda, this shit is testing all of our patience. But your brother doing 150 years? Hi, Lawrence. Yes, he ruined his legacy. What's wrong with a casual freak-off? We have them all the time in Atlanta. There's a difference between having a casual, consensual freak-off or whatever y'all want to call it. The difference is when it's not consensual. And when it's by force, threat, fear, intimidation, abuse, that's the difference. When you have two consenting adults that want to be freaks, That's the difference. When you have one that say, I don't want to do this, and the other still force and say, oh, I ain't going to pay your bills this month. That's the difference. So, y'all, where do y'all want to get started? I'm gonna let y'all, because we are not doing hot topics tonight, because today was a lot to where we can just go straight into it. So I'm gonna give you all an opportunity to ask any questions that you have before I roll a dice and get straight to business on what happened today. When I tell you, Diddy trying it. He trying it. He tried it in that court. What's the question, Des? What's the question, Black culture? I need y'all to ask the question so I can respond to the question with the answer. Y'all see my crutch in the back? I tore my ACL. So if y'all see my friend back there, I tore my ACL and my meniscus, and I had surgery, 3 weeks ago? So that's what y'all see back there. Was 50 baby mama victim number 2? You know what, Des? Listen, if we can get these likes up to 100, like right now, I can get to that particular question. So encourage your people to like, and I can confirm. Stop working. Listen, do you think the trial is like, hold on, absolutely, but from the standpoint of his attorneys, I've been saying this since the inception, before it even started. I said it's too many chefs in the kitchen and too many strategies that are not cohesive. You got, what is his name? Mark Agafino, whatever his name is. He needs not to be the lead attorney. He sucks. I would definitely be like, still needs to be a part ahead of the strategy on this. But it's not about race, when it, in a sense of what OJ, he cut his wife's neck off and her boyfriend. It's a little different. It's a little different. Let's see. Why is it true that making faces at the jury and stuff? Yes. So there's another question. Since there are 2 questions, I'm going to go ahead and get straight to it. Why did the judge threaten to remove Diddy from the court? What was he doing? So let's go ahead and get into it. Diddy got in trouble today. He got in trouble. The judge said, find somebody else courtroom to play in. I'm not the one or the two. Don't let this young face fool you. I will put you out my courtroom. If you think you're going to come in here and do what you be doing on the streets in my courtroom. See, this is my courtroom. I'm assigned to this courtroom for life, however long I want to be here. And you're going to act right. So what essentially happened was Diddy has been, and this is something that has been reported consistently throughout the week and previously, that he's been making facial expressions, like looking over, doing like this to the jury. Yeah. But No one has said anything to him until today. You know why? Because the judge caught him red-handed. The judge waited till the jury was out and told his lead counsel, he said, listen, during the sidebar, I saw your client was looking at jurors and nodding vigorously. This cannot continue, or I will give a limiting instruction that you won't like, including barring your client from the courtroom. Do you understand me? His attorney said yes. And let me tell you something. There are situations where your attorney know what the hell you're doing. And as long as the government doesn't say anything, or somebody in the court doesn't say anything, they're going to allow you to continue to perpetuate that behavior. His attorneys have been knowing what he's been doing this entire time. That's the reason why the judge put belt to ass onto his attorney to let him know in his presence. I've been watching you, Mr. Didster, and I've been watching you, how you've been trying to play in these jurors' face and trying to get them to look at you. Make no mistake, this is my courtroom. Sit your ass down. The evidence and testimony is being presented. You are not putting on a case at this time if you decide to or not. So sit your ass in that chair. Don't you move. Don't you squint. Don't you nod. Don't you smile. Don't you do anything to the jury. Because I see you. So that's essentially I don't know what that is. That's essentially what happened today. And whenever a judge does that, y'all, it's really bad. And they really are fed the fuck up with you. Let's see some more questions. I don't know what y'all talking about. Look up track group ticker symbol. Same as James. I don't know what that means. OJ was not convicted. Facts. It just seemed like it's the same type of coverage. Oh, you meant like coverage. Yes. You are spot on. I was totally, it went over here. But yes, for coverage, OJ and Diddy, they neck and neck. Diddy is a little more elevated because technology has advanced, and this is federal court versus state court. And it's not going to be as long as OJ's case, but as far as coverage, yes. And it's more profound now because we have platforms like YouTube. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yes, he's making body contact that is not permissible. So the federal rules of court procedure is as follows. Because y'all know I like to give it to y'all so that y'all can understand what the law states and not what the opinion states. It states when the court warns the defendant, it will be removed. It will remove the defendant from the courtroom for disruptive behavior. If the defendant persists in conduct that justifies removal, the trial may proceed without his presence. So if the judge is giving you a warning because this is a disruptive form of behavior, Let's say he continued to do it. The judge can remove him. The judge can say, go to the holdover with everybody else and go back to your celly. So Diddy better sit down and stop playing like his life ain't on the line. Yeah. We have a statement. This is not a question. We have a statement. The defense job is to create doubt and find holes in the story, and they are doing just that. I do not see Diddy during much time. I'm gonna have to wholeheartedly disagree 100%. No, I'm gonna give you about 75%. I'm gonna give you a 75% disagree. I'm gonna give you 25% on that because on certain occasions they have been poking holes, but I do kind of think you've been asleep at the wheel to where you have missed everything that has already been proven with Rico. So I'm gonna have to disagree with the 75%, and I'm gonna give you a 25% window to some things that have been poking. They poked holes in, but right now that life is definitely the destination if the government continues down the path of how they're proving their case. So yeah, hate to be a bearer of bad news, but you've been asleep at the wheel. And if you've been here every night, like some of the viewers, baby, I break it down. I give you the law. I give you the good, the bad, what applies, what don't apply. And if you would have been here, you would not have that disposition. The jury has the ability to look. The jury's job is to observe everything. They can make body movement, they can move. It doesn't mean that they are being disruptive or trying to influence anything. That's the difference between a jury. They are there to be the judges of the credibility of the evidence and making sure the government proves their burden and sticks to their burden. Hold on really quick, y'all. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Oh wait, I didn't mute myself. Whatever. My nieces have been calling me like crazy, y'all, because they're used to talking to me at this time. So I had to send them a text because they was calling me. Tim G, I don't know. Tim, y'all gonna have to be more specific because talking about look up track group ankle monitors, I do not know what that means. June, that is absolutely incorrect. I have sources in the courtroom that said that is not true. That did not happen. So that's why I said it's not okay to listen to certain influencers and bloggers who are going around spewing this misinformation because my sources, which are reliable, said that did not happen. Was all that unusual behavior by Diddy yes. I say intimidate, I say tamper, all of that. Yeah, but I use trafficking, but I still don't know what point you're trying to drive home. Yeah, I remember the prison stocks. Hold on. Um Tab, I never said anybody killed anyone. I said OJ's case was based on murder. I ain't say nobody killed nobody. I have a question. Why have the jurors has to see all the freakoff videos? There are 10. Because they are the judge, they judge the credibility, and they have to also judge not only judge the credibility, but the weight not the weight, but the credibility of the evidence. The weight and admissibility goes to the judge. No, you're not in the wrong field. Being a paralegal is very lucrative. And if you have a really good niche, especially um, document preparing and research, intake, like during the necessary things to get to the meat of it, you'll love it. Especially, listen, investigating, top tier. Um, Trying to see if y'all have any more questions before I move on. Yes, the bots. Diddy got some bots out here. If he's convicted of all 5 counts, he's looking at life, automatic life. No, he will not be able to recover or repair his image. Mm-mm. Nope. When I heard, I thought about you and all the people that be on here defending him. Tamika, what you talking about? Defending who? You must be talking about somebody else in the comments, because defending who, sis? Let me know who I've been defending. Um Honestly, I don't even know why you had to mention your credentials when I stuck solely to the evidence that has been submitted. So nobody's saying that doubt can be raised, but it's nothing here that has risen to the level of where jury is going to find him not guilty as of right now. They have not poked enough holes. And I know some of you will be saying, "Oh, well, they didn't prove the arson." If you have been here, arson does not have to be proven with physical identification of a person being there. Circumstantial evidence is enough. They have proven kidnapping with Capricorn. They have proven arson with Kid Cudi. All you need is two of the 8. We're not even going to talk about forced labor that they have proven. We're not even going to talk about the drug trafficking that each employee that was assistant had to go and buy drugs, supply drugs to Diddy, fix his rooms up with drugs, traveling across the country with illegal substances, illegal amounts of money, physical abuse, threats, all of that. So I'm not sure where you have been, but it ain't been in the case. But I would urge you to watch every night as I break it down to where you may get to see the reality and not the opinion. Exactly. Yes, the RICO has already been proven. So I don't understand why they keep on with these tags of celebrities. We need the big boys. Y'all, I already told y'all the last two witnesses, because the co-defendants, let me see if I do I still have the indictment up? I have the indictment has defendants sealed, co-defendants, co-conspirators. If you think for a second, JD, that KK and D Rock are not going to be their last two witnesses, it's over for him. I don't hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's over. Um Listen, Nancy Grace is not in the courtroom. The sources that I have shot that theory down, shot that down, said that did not happen. Um, Tim, who these people? Tim, who these people? Ravenswood Investments, Lars. Oh, because you probably gonna get me hemmed up, Tim. Oh, y'all active so tonight. I love that for me. Okay, Tamika, I figured that. I figured it. Um, yes. So the CFO that testified, what the CFO confirmed today, and I want JD, since I don't think JD comes in a lot, the CFO confirmed the extortion. Y'all remember when Diddy made Cassie's mother and father send $20,000 to his bank account, wired $20,000? It's illegal, and that's considered money laundering. To have over 10,000 wired into your financial institution when it's unlawful. Extortion is unlawful. Then he wired the $20,000 back. That could be considered 2 counts of money laundering because it's over $10,000. So that adds to the coercion. Mm-hmm. So when I say two, they have met more than two. Yes, they have substantial, put the capital letters on substantial evidence. That is not only witness testimony, they have physical evidence, financial evidence, data evidence. You rarely get as much evidence as the government has on Diddy. You rarely get that in a case. You rarely get that type of evidence. They didn't have this much evidence in R. Kelly's case. If I'm being honest. Now let me go ahead. Yeah, I gotta get to the 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 testimony. Like, I love that we have so much energy in the comments, because baby, today was a day. You hear me? Yes, yes. Everything that y'all saying, yes, yes. Listen, y'all are on it tonight. I love the energy. I love it. I love it. I love it. Make sure y'all are liking. Let's get that engagement up, y'all. Listen, y'all are showing out tonight, and I love that. I love that. So let's get into her testimony, y'all. Let's get into the start of her testimony. And I'm gonna just tell you, she is going to be testifying for at least 3 days. At least 3 days. The most compelling part about her testimony, opposed to Cassie and Amia, baby, she got receipts. She got receipts. She got receipts to back it up. So that is one of the things that is going to set her apart. But I understand why some people have a lot of reservations with her testimony, because it's sounding more like she was down for the get down until the get down was not the get down that she wanted to be down with anymore. See, I don't know the friend. I don't know the friend. I want to know the friend, but I know the friend know who she is now, because the friend, so in her testimony, she started that her and Diddy met. She met Diddy in 2020 with her friend who was dating him at the time, who was also engaged. Listen, hoes be winning. Hoes be winning, y'all. I can't say it enough. Hoes be winning. The girl that he was dating, which was her friend, was engaged. She comes to the party. They're asking Diddy for the pink powder, or the pink pouch that has the powder in it. We know what that is. We just saw Stefan Diggs giving out some in a pink substance, pink, format. I call it the Diddy candy. They go into the studio 2020. They get drugs. Now, granted, she did not take the drugs. She hadn't taken any drugs since allegedly 2016. They get to the studio. Then they go to his place, get in the pool. Homegirl get mad, think that they flirt, and she's like, we about to go. But then they started hanging out. They went on the yacht. They went to the movies. He's texting her while the friend is there. Like, they text, and I'm like, hoes be winning. Hoes be winning. But at the same time, I'm a different type of person. I'm not about to be engaging with somebody that is rivals or enemies with my baby daddy. No, it ain't nothing to smirk about. It ain't nothing to kiki about. It ain't nothing to do nothing about. That's just me. So they started, casually keeping in contact. The friend gets married. She like, let me go ahead and step my cookie game up. Let me go and throw my cookie in the mix. She gone overseas. I'm still here. I don't got my baby daddy, so let me, So her and Diddy meet 2021. She think they're in a relationship. That man told her, we ain't in no relationship. We ain't in a relationship. So, wake up, America. I'm just saying, hoes be winning to a certain extent, and I'm gonna get to the certain extent. So, I'm coming. I'm getting there. So, she after they had been texting for some time, they finally meet up in 2021. She goes to Miami because she's in New York. They're on a yacht. Hold on. No, not this time. The second time. Hold on. Yeah, I talked about that. The second time they meet up was in Miami. She was there for 5 days. 5 days. She said they were making passionate love. They were making some good. What is that H-Town song? Knocking the Boots. They was on that knocking the boots 5 days strong. Like, don't even get me on that. Like, he gave her ecstasy. Of course, she took it. She said it exhilarated her sexual sensation and it elevated the sexual arousal. And I'm like, all y'all taking drugs to have sex? Dang. All y'all taking drugs to have sex. That ain't my business, though. So she told him, you know, my baby daddy, who her baby daddy was, her baby daddy don't like him. Diddy talking about some, I'm cool with him. I ain't got no problems. She's so gullible because hoes be winning. And she believed him. I don't know anybody on this live that is going to be as gullible as that. I trust that all my viewers will not be commingling, ling-a-ling, with their baby daddy arch nemesis. I just know y'all ain't going to fall for that. I know y'all ain't going to do it. So, they first date was on a rooftop. He ends up gifting her like a bracelet. And during that 5 days of them making good body rocking, knocking boots all night long, she says he gave her $10K for, you know, the time that she took off the 5 days because she's a social media influencer. She posts and she get paid. They didn't go into how much she was getting paid at that time, but the girls was getting paid back then, y'all. COVID, the girls were getting paid even more. Like Jada Waiter was getting like $30,000 a post. So I know they were making that bread, that moolah, baby. So they ended up going to Turks. Was not on here. They ended up taking a trip to Turks for her birthday that lasted for 9 days in Turks, 5 days in the Bahamas. More drugs was introduced: ketamine, cocaine, GHB, of course, ecstasy. What else? She was taking a whole cocktail by the time she left there. But she was talking about some of the effects that it would have coming down. I think she hated, there was an elevated ecstasy that she hated. No, it was the GHB that made it feel like the walls was closing in. So he gives her $10,000 there. He took her there for her birthday. So what he's doing now from Miami to Turks, he is swoozing her, making her fall in love, you know, letting her know that I am yours and you are mine, and we just gonna have this thing going on and ain't nobody gonna know because it's our little secret, like escape. So now he done got her wrapped. Now it's time to introduce her to the Freakoff. So she talked about after they get back, there was another encounter in Miami. And he gets her, you know, they get elevated enough to where he likes to watch porn. You see where he going here? He likes to watch porn, y'all. So he's putting the fantasy in her mind to where when allegedly when you are high as a kite, now you feel like you can sit on the biggest of whatever. Because Punisher was not punishing when I figured it out. He was not a punisher. He was a stuffer. So she makes the statement like, I can do that. And you know, he like, word. He instantly texts his sex worker. She gets nervous at this point because she like, oh shit, what did I do? The assistants come to the hotel because they had to go to the hotel. The assistants are there getting the room set up for the Freakoff. The pattern, the red light special, the baby oil, the Astroglide, all of the sheets everywhere. She had to wear lingerie. She had to wear them stripper heels. The guy gets there and him and Diddy are conversing. At this moment, she like, shit, I can't back down, but this my man. My man. No, girl, you his ho. Don't get it twisted. He don't want you like that. He just wants you for that. So they have the Freakoff. She gives the man oral. Then that leads to Diddy is in there masturbating, playing with his balls. That's disgusting. I don't know no straight man that's going to be masturbating and playing with himself in front of another man. That to me is a no-go. Ain't no damn way. You don't get no permission slip to do that. So y'all are funny. Y'all are so funny. Make sure y'all are liking. Yeah, you're not supposed to get involved with the enemy, Felicia. You better say it. So after the Freakoff, she like, oh, I think that's gonna be the only time. Cool. Hell no. So at this point, Diddy is talking about, you know, he gonna pay her rent. Her rent is $10,000. Baby, why your rent $10,000? Oh, I think, yeah, she live in New York. Pause. I get it. Baby, you should have been in New Jersey. $10,000, you only got a closet, but he paying her rent. He started asking for the Freakoffs more often, y'all. He started asking for them more often. And guess what? She supplied them because she wanted that rent paid. Diddy told her, if you ain't doing no Freakoffs, I'm not paying your rent. I'm going to give you 3 months of rent. And guess what? She felt obligated to continue. Because it's her man. Girl, no, you his ho. I keep telling people, these hoes be out here winning to a certain extent. Because this is the extent that they don't be winning. They don't tell you, I'm getting my rent paid for $10,000, but I got to sleep with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 men in a month span. They don't tell you that part. So to that extent, hoes don't be winning. So she has text messages where she tells Diddy that she don't want to do the Freakoffs anymore. And that's when he starts with the manipulation. Y'all know he started transporting her from LA to New York to Miami, Turks, doing Freakoffs. You know who was doing the travel arrangements? Take a wild guess. Yeah, MHM. Yeah, that ketamine outlet. Y'all know who was doing the travel arrangements? KK. Ivy, baby, you better say it. Where my gavel at? Hold on. I can't find my gavel, girl. I'm trying to forget that gavel. You better say it. I don't. What the fuck the rent gonna do? I want some equity. Give me some of that publishing you stole. That's what I want, because I know that's gonna pay more than that $10,000, and I'm out here, and she out there with a dry cat. Y'all, the cat had to be dry because she said that he had her doing it for 20 to 30 hours straight. Ain't no cat in this world that moisturized after rubbing against a penis for 20 to 30 hours. Yeah, it's people that do it for free. You ain't lying. And he made her have sex with on the first freak off without protection. Told her, these guys get tested all the time. I don't want no man that want to share my meat either. Ah. um Oh, and she said they would go through 24 bottles of baby oil. 2 dozen. 24 bottles. So after she, was like, I don't want to do this no more, he would basically use that manipulation. And he told her hair, her nails, her skin, her aesthetic, everything had to be perfect. And she had to be on call. And she had to, if he don't care if he give her a less than 24 hours notice, the day before notice, the day of notice, you got to be ready for the freak offs. So they asked her, was like, well, were you able to work? She was like, no, because I was so invested in making sure that I was available for him. She had a babysitter on standby. Baby, when no $10,000 worth that much of back $10,000. The cat was dehydrated. The cat was dehydrated. Listen, Courtney, I ain't gonna hold you. I know that's true. I know that's true, Courtney. But I ain't gonna put it on this screen. I know that's true. Zoe Killer, you crazy. So what he essentially did is he transferred, because at that moment Gina wasn't the main. So when Cassie left, guess who started taking the abuse? Gina. When Gina was on pause or indirect, now you got Daphne. Y'all, y'all remember that petition where Rodney stated there's an accountant that identify allegedly Jane Doe and Young Miami as being paid monthly to be sex workers. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up is because if you notice at that point, hi Tanya, at that point, Young Miami was not consistent with the city girls. And I think that kind of caused a kind of some static in the group. Because if this person is alleging that she's also getting paid to be freaked off, I don't know. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, she was pregnant. Gina was pregnant, and she got pregnant kind of within the first couple of months of them being together. And she downplayed herself too. She ain't want no money. Baby, that must be the money. Like, they ain't listen to Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders said it must be the money. That's what where the money resides, or where the equity. Give me some equity. That's what I want. So let's go to the next slide. So he used threats, financial threats. Then, y'all, his dumb ass gonna sit up here playing in her face, talking about they gonna do a love contract. Do you not know that can be used against you? A love contract. He asked her, well, how much allowance do you want a month? She says 15,000. No, girl, you better say at least 30. 15,000. Then he gonna come back. Nah, we gonna keep it at 10. I can't even buy no groceries with that. My rent is 10,000. And she was actually also collecting her child support. Hoes be winning to a certain extent. That's why I was like, oh, I can't be no hoe. Hoes, this is it's too costly to be a hoe. Mm-mm. Then they would call their freakoffs hotel nights instead of freakoffs. He changed the name. They would travel, like I said, between LA, Miami, New York, Turks, where the freakoffs would happen. So KK bitch ass would book the travel. Her, an assistant or a travel agent, would book the travel. She would fly in, do the freakoff, regroup. He'll treat her like a princess, and then she will fly back home. That's all they would do. Now, most people are living paycheck to paycheck, but Rasta, when you're talking about 10,000 and your rent is 10,000, are you really getting anything? Now, if she, let's say if she was living somewhere like in Texas, she can get a whole mansion for like 4,000 a month. Then I would say she at least she banking 6,000. Courtney, ain't nobody shaming nobody. Um, let's see. So they went over her testimony because it wasn't a lot, because like I said, she got 2 more full days of consistency on the stand. They ended up taking like a little break up until I think October 2023. They got back together. No, they got back together September 2023, and she was with him up until he went in September 2024. That's how long they were together. After she found out about the whole Cassie situation, all of that, she was still with him. Most importantly, she identified that drugs were, like, she was drugged up on every time she would go visit him. That's when she would do her drugs with him. He required her to be ready for a freak off at any moment. She could not hang out with friends. She asked, could she do an OnlyFans account? He wasn't feeling it. But how else is the girl gonna pay for her bills? Like, she gotta do something. Breakdown, because this is just a preview. This is just part one. This is just the appetizer, y'all. We're gonna get at least a full course of something tomorrow. So just to give y'all an overview, to get y'all, I was finna say something that was just, I ain't gonna say that part because it just aligns too much with this. And I'm like, no. The basis of the dynamic is, of course, they met 2020 on a trip. They began a romantic relationship starting in 2021. He introduced her to Freakoffs in May of 2021. Their encounters became more freakoffs throughout 2021 and beyond. She testified that the events of freakoffs became a condition of her receiving financial support, or he would take it away. Coercion. She felt obligated. She did communicate. She did not want to do it. But guess what? I'm taking the money away. So when they are building up certain elements that they have to prove, like the drug use, like I've always stated, a person cannot legally consent when they are intoxicated to sexual encounters. That's the reason why they continue to talk about drug use with these individuals and how he introduced them to drugs to this level and extent. I don't want to piggyback off of BB, but BB said the reason that she became sober, she had met up with them one more time, and Diddy was on a 7-day ketamine binge. And she said, oh, hell no, I got to get sober. I got to get sober. She said, this is not my life. He made her sign a love contract in April of 2023. And the lawsuit came out. This man is sick. They agreed to $10,000 a month that was also in conjunction to the freakoffs. I believe that that's something the government is going to have to really hone in on, because it's not giving how Cassie situation was. It's like his maneuvering evolved, his manipulation evolved to where he got around certain areas of being so direct with being more suggestive. So that $10,000, they're going to have to really dive into that, because I can see a defense attorney like really poking holes there as to, was this really a payment for freakoffs? Because if I'm not mistaken, Diddy was paying your rent prior to y'all going into the dynamic of being freaks. That's what I can see. She talked about the emotional and psychological damage. She was crying on the stand. She talked about feeling isolated because she could not have any friends. She had to be available for everything that he wanted. So they got into the appetizer. One thing that some of the things that I identified about the legal significance that they still got to hammer down. This is just the substance. They're on the surface. They got to go under the surface on here. They really got to drill it, because on cross, baby, if you think they not coming, They coming. So she did provide some critical insight to the alleged pattern. We noticed that pattern between her and Cassie very well. It's the same pattern, y'all. The coercion, the abuse, the exploitation that is central is significant and is closely related to Cassie and what she testified. She adds to the sex trafficking and the racketeering conspiracy. Her detailed accounts of the manipulation, the subtle manipulation, it has not risen to as much as I know that they're going to have to bring that home. So they definitely got more work to do, but they are doing a good job at trying to mirror the patterns of former abused individuals who were enjoined into the freakoffs. The financial aspect, that has all been basically slithered in just for today. So when you're looking at her testimony, right now we are on the surface. They're going to have to get under the surface. So I'm reading y'all comments. When did the Freakoff stop? When he got locked up? When he got locked up? I don't know what you talking about, D. You all over the place. Yep, them financial records are definitely going to come in handy. Yep, she probably was going to meet up with him that night, Tamika. I am tuned in for that. Make sure y'all are liking. How many likes we got so far? The phone calls, which ones? Oh, y'all, we got to get these likes up. We can get at least to 250. We need to get at least to 250. Go ahead and like. She caught, yeah, he was caught with the Freakoff material and women's stuff. And yep. 20, 30 hours. Ain't no way. You right, Tay. Ain't no way. So tomorrow is going to be an exhausting day for her, y'all. It is, y'all. I don't want to be no hoe. I'm just saying, hoes is not winning. This hoes finally ain't winning like they used to, y'all. And when you really uncover what hoes be doing, don't even try to sign me up. Don't even try to sign me up. Y'all go through too much. And if, I'm talking to the ones that really be out here getting paid to, use their cat, which is okay. But y'all go through too much. Y'all go through too much. It's time to retire the cat now. Find something that you love. You should have been getting some equity, making sure you can build a business, something that is going to be long standing. Long standing. Long standing. Get some, babe. I knew long. I'm so glad that was never in my pedigree, baby. I talk back. You ain't finna tell me what to do like that. Because I'm liable to probably be the one that, you know, put belt to ass on you. A battery operated boyfriend. Yes, Tay, get something. But he knew what not. He knew how to put them on limitations, y'all. Y'all, it ain't everything that these people be posting is not the reality. That's why I created the public opinion court, and the slogan is, "Where the reality ain't the truth, but opinions are." People do not be living in a reality. So he would have got hit with a frying pan. I know that's right, Tay. Tanya said, and I talk back and I kick ass. I know that's right, Tanya. And guess what? These men who pray, they know who they can try and who they can't. They know. Courtney, I am not. Courtney, you've been cutting up tonight. Courtney been in this chat cutting up. I just ain't told y'all what Courtney been in here saying. So this is what I'm gonna leave y'all with so y'all can keep this fresh on your mind. Outside of the pattern, what some key identifiers is that she identified that she was going to other states to do the freakoffs. She was required to be on standby. She had to keep herself up. He was paying for her rent. He made her sign a fake ass love contract. She had to jump on planes from anywhere at the drop of a dime. KK was responsible at some points of booking travel or the assistants. He was wiring money to her. So there's a paper trail. There are text messages. And the manipulation, of course. The manipulation, intimidation, fear. I didn't hear any physical at the moment. So, but tomorrow, what I want y'all to do tomorrow, because I really want to engage with the audience. So do me a favor. If any of you want to come to the stage tomorrow, I need you to DM me on my Instagram at Lawyer Bay ESQ. And what I would do is I'm going to send you the link so that you can be backstage, or I can call you to the stage when it's time, because I want to engage and I want to have these conversations and give y'all an opportunity to, talk about this particular trial, because it's so complex. But I feel like y'all have a elevated level of intellect that y'all know what be going on. Y'all really know what be going on. Because if y'all know that 20 to 30 hours gonna make your cat dry, y'all know other stuff that we need to be on this stage talking about. So hit me up in my DM so I can make sure that I get y'all up here so we can have a good kiki. We can talk about it. We can break it down. We can do all the things, especially engaging in this particular topic. As always, you know where you can follow me. My personal page, Lawyer Bay ESQ, where I do like mini breakdowns during the day, breaking news, all of those things. My YouTube channel is the Public Opinion Court. So I need everyone to go subscribe to my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok, which is the Public Opinion Court, because I also do content on every platform. And when I leave here, I am going to fan base to the public opinion court room where we do the after dark special, where it's a little more, uncensored because it's audio and we can talk that talk and we can walk that walk and we can be heard and not have to be seen. We can do all other things. So go and follow all of my social media platforms. And also, if you are aware, I have written my first book, Shut Up and Prosecute. As a former prosecutor and a municipal court judge, I've highlighted some of the corruption that goes on in the judicial system when individuals that look like us are trying to seek justice for the masses. And baby, I name names. I don't hold anything back. And this is in anticipation for my documentary that is going to be released later this year. And this is only part one of Shut Up and Prosecute, where you can go and get your copy on Amazon. And if you can get this book for somebody that that is a crimey, a crime star that loves crime stories and loves to read about the law, because your support means everything to me. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for joining. Y'all really turned up tonight. Y'all turned up so much that I'm just over here on cloud 9 of legal energy, not that illegal energy that the Diddy be on. We on the legal energy over here. So I appreciate the energy that y'all brought, the questions, how live the chat was. Let's keep this going. Let's do this again tomorrow, because tomorrow is going to be hot like fire, like in my girl Aaliyah, rest in peace, would say, hot like fire. It's going down. Tell a friend to come show up, because baby, we back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, where we gonna get into it, because at the Public Opinion Court, we talk about where the reality ain't the truth, but opinions are. Y'all have a wonderful night.